hoping that you guys can hear us and you can also are able to see our screen. And tonight, really, we're just here to kick off our APC workshop. And we're looking forward to hosting you for the next couple of days as we prepare you for the APC assessment, which you're going to be sitting on the 6th of December. But as we know, APC is that long journey where it actually starts on the 1st of December when SAICA releases that PRI. So my name is Elelwani. I am going to be the host for today. I have the most simplest duty which I have to carry out today. I'm really going to be carried out by a couple of speakers who are going to be coming through. As you know that for our APC workshop, we've got very huge collaborators with AWCA and ABASA Tshwane. So we're really, really grateful to have them to collaborate with us because we get to appreciate that, you know what, by ourselves, we'll not be able to indeed reach out to everyone which we need to. And again, we're also very much grateful for Investec for sponsoring this APC workshop. So from myself, really, is to say that welcome. The workshop is for you. One of the things I always emphasize when I communicate and when I engage with candidates is that you need to use each and every resource which has been provided to you to make sure that, you know what, come the 1st of December, you feel very prepared. And not only feel, but then also as you're working through that research period, you actually even feel more empowered because this indeed, the workshop is for you to fine tune those areas which still needs to some bit of polishing up so that when you sit again on that 6th of December, you're indeed already a competent professional like my boss Ferdinand would like to call you. So we have a very brief agenda, not too much agenda in terms of what we're going to be going through today. As I noted, I'm your host for tonight, but then what's going to happen is that after myself, our academic head, Ferdinand, is going to come through just to tell you what is the purpose of the APC workshop. And after that will be just a slight change from, I will also have the welcomes from the different collaborators and our sponsors. So we'll have Babalo is the one who's going to be taking us. I was going to be welcoming you guys as part of from AWCA. And we're also going to have Mkhabo who's going to welcome you also from ABASA. And we're also going to have, I see we made a slight error there. We're also going to have Tino who's representing our sponsors, which is Investec. And then again, Rendani is going to come through, not very much towards the end, but he's really, I always call him the main speaker because he's just going to be telling you in this workshop, setting the scene as you go from today as the open day and the other days which are coming through to really also maybe elaborate further as to what you can expect in the next upcoming days. So he's going to take you through what you all professional call document A or document 1. So that's what he's going to be going through. But then again, in terms of the question and answers, please, for those who are online, don't wait until the end. Please use the chat platform to make sure that you bring those questions. We have the whole team here. As I've noted that we have AWCA, we have ABASA, we have Investec, we have got EPC team, which is waiting to take care of you and make sure that all your questions don't have to be answered only at the end, but we can continuously continue on responding to your questions. So please leave your questions on the chat platform. And again, I think it's the next one, which the team has just asked me to do. You know, when you have these hybrid sessions, you always have to set out the rules so that we make sure that both the attendees on the online platform and also who are here face to face are able to have the same shared opportunities of conversing with the different speakers. So just maybe the rules before the other team members come through, or those will be presenting. The first thing, again, remember that you need to make sure that you need to use the platform. Like I was saying, that those who are also on joining us through Teams, please use the raise the hand. If you all talk at the same time, we'll not be able to efficiently service you and to respond back to your questions. And those who are here on face-to-face, you just need to raise your hand and our team will assist you with maybe just providing the mic, which will make sure that you're audible for both people who are here face-to-face and those who are also online. And the second one, again, please wait to be acknowledged. As you can imagine, if we all raise hands at the same time, there needs to be an acknowledgement for both the online team and also for the face-to-face, so that we all get a chance to speak up and to raise our any other questions or acknowledgement which we may have. And again, don't speak until you let the person who's speaking speak. Let them finish what they need to say, and then we'll get to you. And then again, remember that as the lecturers, or I'll call them presenters for today, the different presenters are coming here to share about the welcome either from AWCA, from ABASA, from Investec, or when Fedi comes in or Renani comes in to set the scene. Just make sure that you let them finish. You know, the question you might have, though it might be a burning question, they might actually address it as they're busy presenting. So maybe just let them pause, finish what they're saying before you can cut them through. And I think that will also assist when you're saying that you need to wait to be acknowledged before you can talk. For those who are also joining us online, remember, so that we make sure that you can hear this session clearly. And also, it's just easier for those who are going to be re-listening to the session again, because this is being live recorded. Make sure that your mic is off at all times. Only open your mic once you've been acknowledged, that you can now proceed to ask the question. Make sure your videos are off. I know, you know, I always say that these teams, it gets to be very interesting because people are working in different areas. You'll find people, some are in bed, some are singing in the shower, and others are just doing different things. So just make sure that your videos is off, so that we can also just make sure there's no distraction. You know, people can get easily distracted for those who are also online, trying to join the session online. So make sure that your video is off. And like I was saying, the last one for me, it really is important. There is no need for you to now again be saying that I've joined online, and then when we check there, it's like Ere, and Ere is nowhere to be found. Please make sure that you're present and you are here to absorb what the different presenters are going to be telling you, and you're here to be able to, again, you know, if you go for 10 minutes out, you only come back, you might be asking the question which has already been responded to. So make sure that you're present. This session is only for maximum 2.5 hours. I've made sure that I'm going to talk to my speakers so that they don't talk us to sleep, but they get to the point. And I'm hoping all of us who are here are really eager to hear what the different speakers are going to be talking about. After all, this is your session to make sure that you are very much well prepared before you go sit for that APC assessment on the 6th of December. So please, please, please be present. The speakers have taken the time to be here. Also all the work which has been done in the background for the speakers, just also give them the benefit of doubt. And again, being present also assists for your fellow candidates, because if you're asking a question which was just addressed because you have moved out or you have done anything else, it also causes a bit of distraction. So please make sure that you're present. Make sure that you ask your questions. Make sure that you don't disrupt anyone else. For me, it's just those are the house rules which we have, and I'm sure that this session is going to be fruitful for you. Not only just this session, this is really just, like I said, setting the scene. So please don't disappear after this the first open day. And I think one of the things I want to emphasize, which maybe some of the people who are here are joining and they're just not sure what's happening. Please note that the APC workshop is not for EPC registered candidates only. It's open for all. All you need to go is to register. And the main purpose why you're registering is so that the links can be shared with you. And the main purpose you need to register is that there's certain material which you will not be able to access if you're not registered. The likes like this, the videos are gonna be uploaded on our online platform, which is My Universe. You'll only be able to access those material and the videos and all the material which the team has really prepared for this if you're registered. But otherwise, it's free of charge. Anyone else who's preparing to sit for that APC assessment come of the 6th of June are welcome to register. For us, we're just saying that, you know what, let's just help you with that last mile, that last finishing touches, and we're hopeful that this will be value adding as we gear you up to the APC assessment. And I believe that the next person who's going to be coming through is, as I noted, is Ferdinand. Ferdinand is going to be joining us online. Unfortunately, he's not around. So we're just gonna wait for him to be dialed in. But if there are any other questions as we're dialing in, please feel free to ask and to clarify. Any questions when Freddy's joining in? Any
Good evening.
clarity? Oh, there he is. Great.
I can hear. Ere, you can tell me when I'm live.
Yes, you are, Freddy.
Cool. All right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I think online I can see I'm live, but also in the room, I think they just confirmed that I'm live. Good evening once again. Really excited to be kicking off the APC workshop 2023. My role tonight is quite a very brief one, an easy one, I guess. Firstly, to second what Ere was saying in terms of welcome to the APC workshop. I'm going to just address you on what is the purpose of this workshop. I would have really liked to join you physically in the room, but as Ere has stated, I was not able to do so. But I will be seeing you guys as we work through the workshop for this month. I think before I get into the purpose of the workshop, I want to just address everyone in terms of, number one, the fact that you are about to sit for APC 2023. And APC is a final qualifying assessment of professional competence. So it is this assessment that will really tell us whether you are ready for entry into the accounting profession. And that assessment is simple in the sense of it's going to simply assess whether you've got the necessary professional competencies that are required of a chartered accountant. Those who have spoken to me in the past, they know how much I always emphasize that it's not easy being a chartered accountant, and you need to always, before you enter the profession, make that decision that I really want to enter the profession. You need to make a conscious decision. So it mustn't be something that you fall into the profession. It must really be something that you say, I want to be a professional accountant. And a competent professional accountant is a responsible business leader. You agreeing to enter this profession, I just want to remind you, is the fact that you are saying, I am willing and I'm able to continuously be serving the public. I'm not going to put my interests first. I'm going to always be value adding and serving the public. That's a responsible business leader that's always identifying any acts of impropriety and acting upon them, demonstrating ethical leadership, etc. So I just wanted to firstly remind you guys of that, and then tell you that the purpose of this workshop is to say, right, we are now at the point where we've all completed our professional programs, and we are sitting here waiting for the first of. I think someone just muted me. I think I'm now audible. Right, so I was still saying, you have just completed your professional programs, and you are at this point, everyone, waiting for that 1st of December, when your pre-released information is released, so that you can start working through it and demonstrate professional competence on the 6th of December. The purpose of this workshop then is to make sure that we guide you over this this couple of weeks, 3 weeks or so, and make sure that you maintain that level of professionalism across all competencies, that you don't lose it, and make sure you continue demonstrating it for the 3 weeks. So the professional competencies that we're talking about are the ones that you're seeing on the slide, and they always we look at them as the 3 bubbles. And I always start with the blue bubble, because that's the cornerstone of this profession. And to say, continuously, that responsible business leader needs to be continuously demonstrating professional values and attitudes. And the professional values and attitudes that we're talking about is that ethical leadership I was talking about earlier. It's a citizenship, making sure that you serve the public and not just yourself. And lastly is lifelong learning. Continuously learning, because as the new case study gets released and you've got your pre-release, you're going to be researching, and you might even be researching things that have never been released, you've never studied before. So that is quite important, and also things that you've studied before to refresh your understanding of those elements. And then when we look at the green bubble, we're looking at all the enabling competencies. And the enabling competencies that are quite important, you'll see the green element on the left. We're talking about critical thinking. We're talking about things like business acumen, digital acumen, ethical, not ethical, but effective communication. And we're looking at things like presentation and organization. We're looking at things like emotional resilience, which is something that you're going to have to demonstrate on the day of the assessment. All those enabling competencies, when coupled with the professional values and attitudes, before I get into the purple bubble, which are your technical competencies, are important for every professional. So then the technical competencies, as all of us know them, we're talking about tax, audit, financial accounting, or what we call accounting and financial reporting, assurance and audit, and management and financial accounting as well. So these competencies, the technical, the enabling competencies, and the professional values and attitudes, you need to demonstrate all of them in that multidisciplinary case study in an integrated fashion. So you're thinking at the stage, you know, because you've passed your professional programs, will always be integrated. And I want you guys, every single one of you guys, to continue working hard and not just say, because I've just been certified, I've just been declared competent by a professional program, I will do well. Not necessarily. It's like changing a job. You were excelling at the job that you were at for the last 8 months, for the last 18 months, whatever the case might be. Now you're going to face a fresh employer called SAICA, who do not set the same way as any of the professional program providers have been setting the assessment. They don't, as much as we use the same guidelines in terms of marking, in terms of putting together the case studies, but it's different people. Okay, so you're going to have to prove yourself one more time. And for you to do that, you've got to take this APC workshop as a key a tool that can help you make sure that you understand the processes, you take all the tips, you work hard, you continue to work hard, and so that when it's AWCA APC case study comes through, you are used to, as you've been used to as well, you're continuously used to working hard and demonstrating that level of professional competence. That is the purpose of this workshop. Rendani will unpack in terms of what you're going to be expecting in terms of on which day we're going to do what. But for me, what was my role just for this evening was just that short message to say, we're going to continue harnessing your professional competence and making you responsible business leaders. And I wish you the best in this APC workshop as we're going to journey it for the next 3 weeks. Thank you. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you so much, Freddie. Just checking if we're still audible.
Loud and clear.
No, great. No, thank you so much. I was just taking a couple of things of saying that what does it take? You kept on talking about lifelong learning. You spoke about continuously assessing your competency. And for me, it's also, I always say that I like this gathering, and people ask you that you're already a chartered accountant. Why do you still like being in this sessions? Is because of that part, Freddie, of saying that unfortunately or fortunately, this profession really requires you to continuously learn. It requires you to continuously to say that you're a responsible citizen. You're a citizen who's going to be value adding. And Freddie and Randani may not say that I'm saying this in a proper platform. This is where I say that once you all are declared to be competent by AWCA, I'm watching, I'm taking the register. I'm hoping that you'll come back and become those chartered accountants who are going to be continuously value adding in the profession and become wherever you get to be. But the most important one is become a mentor to the next person. So I'll always advocate for mentorship everywhere I go. So I keep my mind is very great when I see people and the names. So I'm on the watch out, because we believe that everyone who's here on the platform, through joining us through Teams and also goes here face to face, we're just fine tuning those areas, and we know that come the 6th of December, when you sit for that 1 day in full day interview, you're going to be indeed that competent professional which AWCA requires you to be. The next person who's going to come through is Babalo, who's going to be who's coming from AWCA, who's just going to also just come to really talk to us about also how do they also get involved in making sure that you become that lifelong learning as a chartered accountant, as to say that also their contribution, which they also do towards this, they've been a really great collaborator, and we're grateful for the different platforms which we have shared with them, and we're sure that as you continue to listen, you'll also get that value from them.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, candidates. Good evening, ABASA. Good evening, AWCA ladies, and our sponsors, Investec, as well as our host, Ndunamo. This collaboration has been a long time coming, and we're very excited to be a part of this initiative. As Ele has mentioned, I am Babalo Phiri. I sit on the Professional Development Subcommittee of the African Women Chartered Accountants. We are a 21-year-old organization that was funded to support African Women Chartered Accountants. We as the AWCA have a 3-tier strategy, which is identify, nurture, and lead. And as the Professional Development Subcommittee, we sit in the nurture tier, where we nurture trainees as well as newly qualified CAs in cultivating their professional journeys. The APC Preparatory Workshop is one of our key initiatives that we have every year. We have been having this workshop, if I'm not mistaken, for the past 10 years or so. And this is our first time collaborating with a professional board course provider and with our sister body, ABASA. So as candidates, I really think that this is a key workshop for you to take as much as you can, take as much as you can technically and the soft skills as well that you need from the day. I think we have a really jam-packed program, but if you immerse yourself in it, it will help you so much in preparing for the 6th of December. We are excited to walk this journey with you. Please do not be afraid to reach out when you need help, to reach out during this workshop and just make the most of it. Once again, thank you to Ndunamo for, reaching out and inviting us to this collaboration. And we are very excited to make a lasting impact as we move to mastery. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Babalo. You know, one of the things which I liked, she mentioned cultivating. And one of the other parts which she mentioned is that the workshop really is filled with what we call comprehensive in its nature. And one of the parts which also Fedi was talking about is the emotional resilience. And that's what really sometimes is the part which gets to make that a day where you sit for the assessment, the difference between you becoming a competent professional and a deferred competent professional. Because you're always a competent professional. Don't ever forget that. It's just sometimes it's a bit deferred. So emotional resilience, and it's part of what really the program, when they say jam-packed, you might get tired of listening to Fedi, Rendani, and Asen and Kumu, but we also have that jam-packed where we're also going to be talking about the softer skills, where we're going to be talking about really your mindset. Are you ready for that day? How do you deal with, APC? If you also go back with, I'm not going to talk about the other issues, but it's when you're starting that. Okay, let's not talk about it. Your laptop. Let's talk about your laptop. When you bring your laptop and you believe that you know that emotional resilience, when you brought the wrong charger, you don't even know where you got it from. But you bring a wrong charger. So emotional resilience is also that part which we're going to be the program you'll see, especially on the last day of the workshop, that is packed with that part of saying that, you know what, sometimes it's not about your technical ability, it's not about your professional ability to do something, but it's also just your emotions. How are you in touch with having to manage also those anxiety on the day? And the anxiety sometimes is not really about, I always say they call it imposter syndrome, that you might be well prepared and you might actually know what you're talking about, but on that day, I always say that don't plan to say that you're not going to be anxious, but plan that when you're anxious, this is what you're going to do. So the program is also really packed with such, and we will also have different candidates who have also sat and been successful, who are much closer to what you might also feel on that day. So please make sure that you really engage with the program in its fullness and engage with the different collaborators, because they really also ask we always say that in Unamo, the EPC program, we're grateful for the partnerships which we have with the likes of AWCA, ABASA, and also Investec sponsoring it, because they get to bring those softer skills which you really need on the day, which sometimes, Fedi might just be saying that you just need to be a competent professional, but those other softer skills, it really will go a long way. And without really going not into much detail, I'll also like to call Khabo, who's going to be coming on behalf of ABASA. Also, just to say, we've seen ABASA in different platforms, so they just also we've partnered with them, we've collaborated with them on other workshops, and we're grateful that we get to also collaborate with them on this APC workshop. For us, it's also that part. In my language, we say "Mnomti autosima tutu." directly translated, one finger cannot pick up food. You need different collaborators so that you carry each other and you help each other. For us, it's also about reach, that when we collaborate with different institutions, we're able to reach. And as I noted, this APC workshop has really been made possible by the different collaborators to make sure that we get to reach as many candidates as we can. Bearing in mind that, remember that the workshop is free to all. You don't need to have either, for some candidates, they would have been said that I already had a certificate. I didn't have any board course which I was attending during the year. For us is to say that let's come and let's make sure that we fine tune those areas which just need a bit of polishing. And for those who are also, again, maybe just to emphasize, if you're based really in Joburg, it would be great so that you get also come to interact with the different speakers. You might interact on that day with that particular professional team who's going to be delivering that program. So please make sure that you come through. We'd like to see your face. Like I noted, that we'll make sure that the sessions are also not overly long, so that we make sure that it's value adding everything which you're going to be getting from the different presenters. So yeah, without remember to make sure that your mic is muted for those who are joining us online. So yes, let's welcome Mokgabo as she comes through to just talk to us about ABASA and the different collaborators.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So as Ella said, I'm Mokgabo Maletswa. I chair ABASA Johannesburg, but in my other role, I also chair Women of ABASA. And it's just great to see that the majority of the people physically here are women, right? And online also, I saw the numbers, and it's great to see that we are all dedicated to finally reaching the final milestone of qualifying as a professional accountant. I actually also see some familiar faces. But I'm here to basically explain what ABASA does, why we continue the collaboration with Endunamo and now partnered with AWCA as well as Investec, right? So we so Endunamo takes care of the technical skills of this APC workshop. And last year we partnered with them to do what we call the match day mindset. So as you know, ABASA is always a good time, and it's always, what does ABASA do? You know, you guys get the AP invites. We have a good time. We celebrate you when you do qualify, but we also want to show our dedication to holding your hand through your journey. And, you know, like I said, in Dynamo, technical skills, they're great. Ashwin, Ella, all of them, they're going to be there for you. But what happens when things go wrong? What happens when you just can't anymore? I mean, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate that APC is written at the end of the year, where everybody is just like ready to go on holiday, year-end fatigue. But that's why we then bring in the match day mindset to keep you going. They're going to take you through all the technical skills for that week. You're going to be equipped. But what is your mind, and how are you going to, you know, test your mind as well, right? Because you're going to have the skills. They're there. When I say Endunamo knows what they're doing, they know what they're doing. But now it's going to be only you, that paper, and we're trying to give you those skills to take the skills that they gave you and to continue on and actually reach that final qualifying exam. And then once you're done, then you can come to APE, and then we're going to celebrate you and you can be a success story. But apart from that, you guys would then fall under the trainee or education pillar, right? So in ABASA, we've got leadership, we've got the trainees, we've got education, we've got women, and all the different programs. And like we said, people always ask us, what do we do? And we just want to assure you guys that we are there for you. We're holding your hands, and also provide you with the psychological help or the mental health help that you might require. Because like I said, I'm tired. I can't imagine what you guys are going through. But for the mere fact that you're here and there's almost close to 500 people online, it just shows your dedication towards, crossing that line. It shows your dedication towards the industry and the impact that you guys want to have there. So I just wanted to thank Ndunamo for the continued partnership. I wanted to welcome AWCA on board. And I also wanted to thank Investec for continuing to actually support us and support what we're trying to do. And I hope you guys are going to be joining us on the 18th of November, where we're going to be having the match day mindset. Thank you. Talk about ABASA all day. Are you back? Okay.
Thank you so much, Mohawa. I know. The ABASA team always wants to hold the mic until, but like you're saying that, yeah, I actually got to know ABASA through those AP invites, and we get to dance until we can't dance anymore. But it's really a good one where you also get to say that, we don't only wait for you till the end, but then we also here to make sure that we assist, we hold your hand towards to make sure that you get through to the end. And I also, like I was saying, that for us is to make sure, like I was saying, that we specialize in certain areas, and they say that the people who are greater, you need to acknowledge where your strengths are and where you can again need those developmental areas. And I'm hoping that also the candidates who are here are able again to make sure that as you're going through this process, I'll say one of the most important thing, I believe I did my when it was still called QE2 long time ago. But through my different interaction, one of the other parts which is really a challenge is reflection. And it's not just a challenge. Reflection is not only a challenge for just the candidates in terms of when you are preparing for your assessments, but reflection is a challenge just in life, because as human beings, we never want to identify those areas which we lack on or where we have gaps on. But what remains important is that unless you identify, I'm not going to sound like a slogan for our collaborators, unless you identify the area where you have challenges on, you're not going to be able to correct so that you get better at it. And I think, like I was saying, that I like these sessions because I always learn. When they were doing the ITC workshop, I was sitting somewhere at the back there, and was she a psychologist? She was saying that, what, if you're in the bus and you realize that you're in the wrong bus, and you get off and you say that I'm not going to ever look which bus is coming because clearly I'm always getting the wrong bus, you're not going to see the right one. And it's just those areas. And I think as human beings, we tend to have those challenges a bit of reflecting. I was telling my mentee that I was asking her, saying that where are you finding your challenges in the APC journey? She was saying that when I get my script, I checked what I have written and why I didn't get that indicator. And I was asking her that, and then what about the rest of the indicators? She was saying that, no, but I was like, you need to also identify why you're not getting the indicator, which you didn't even write on. And it's part of reflection, because we're so quick to again check of saying that why a particular marker didn't award you this. And sometimes we move on, or we dwell on what the indicator which I got, but a reflection is important. And why am I saying that is that as part of this journey, as you're fine-tuning, preparing for the next assessment, you need to now be honest and say that I still lack in this area. What am I going to do in the next, today's the 6th, almost exactly 4 weeks. And time flies. That reflection, you need to have already done it, but time, don't despair. You still have a couple of weeks to make sure that you prepare. Hence, we have this workshop. Consult, meet with your team members, go back again. Remember that on that day, it's just going to be you and the laptop, and you and that PRI and the IOD and the task list. Reflect and identify where your issues are, and make sure that you go back and work on them. Because, if you just identify and you live there, we're not going to be able to get to the next step. So for us, it's just that area of saying, make sure that you reflect and reflect and reflect. But as you reflect, don't leave it just as that. You need to reflect and work at it. You might just find that the next couple of weeks are going to be the ones which you might have to even work extra hard. And Fedi was also saying that, yes, you could already be declared competent by your board course. But then what matters is to make sure that we could keep the momentum going on, lifelong learning, continuous learning, to make sure that when you get there on the 6th, when you get there or when the PRI gets released on the 1st of December, you're able to relate to it. You're able to really link up to it and make sure that you can draw as much as you can. So please make sure that you reflect. Make sure that on those areas which you have reflected, use all the resources. If it's a technical area where you still have issues on, make sure that you connect. I always say that don't go on Googling IFRS 16 or whichever the next standard is. You have the standard. Start with your standard. That should be your source. And one of the parts which I always laugh with my mentee, again, I'll talk from the mentorship part because that's the one which I'm most involved in, is that practice how you write. You're not going to be able to write in a professional manner on the day of the assessment. At work, your tone, is it appropriate? So it's those areas which you don't need to be sitting on a particular day to make sure that you are indeed that well-rounded, professional, competent candidate. But it's what you do on a daily basis. As a CA, you know we're number one. We get to be there because of what you do on a daily basis, not at a point in time. It's a continuous thing. You need to continuously learn. You need to continuously improve yourself. You need to continuously invest in your professional behavior. It's not going to come that when someone asks you that the petrol price has gone up and we're asking you, what do you think? All you can talk about is your fuel tank. Why are you not thinking about how it impacts the business? You're supposed to be talking those languages. You should not be talking that the interest rate has gone up and you're thinking about your installment for the car and for the bond. You should be thinking about how it impacts your company, how, again, you as a CA, you bring value in that company to make sure that though it's living, it's operating in these diverse, challenging economic times, how are you going to bring value? How are you going to be efficient in the work you do? You need to stand out. You're a CA, and I always tell also my mentees that you need to live it before you become it, so that they say what, speak to the universe, and then it will bring it back. So it's those areas. Just you need to continuously work at it and make sure that you invest in it. Tino is here, our sponsor. We're grateful for Investec for sponsoring this APC workshop. And we're grateful that you also were able to come and make it on the day. So please come and just tell us about Investec. You must make sure you clap harder so that it's the money. It's what you guys call, how do you call it? Thank you so much.
Have you used one of these before? Mitcha?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tino Tenda Madzongwe. I'm from Investec Bank. And first and foremost, I must say that it is an absolute privilege to be a part of the APC workshop alongside Indunamu. I think it's been brought about through the number one key component, which is networking and collaboration. We cannot exist within a society if we are not within society. And a lot of the times, a lot of people view Investec Bank as the bank for the, for the niche, for the well-off, etc. But we've got a long-standing built relationship that was centered around doctors, accountants, and lawyers. And I think most importantly for the accounting space, a lot of financial institutions would only look at individuals when they are actively, about to pass their CTA to say, come and bank with us professionally. And we identified a gap where we literally saw that within the accounting field as a whole, as you write your first board exam, your second board exam, and then finally getting your designation of CASA, the importance of actually having walked that journey with you. And I think it goes without saying that every individual is unique, and specifically Indunamu in itself is completely unique. By way of understanding and how we got to know Indunamu was through a collaboration through ABASA, who we've got a very good, well-working, established relationship with. And now we're actively working alongside Indunamu, specifically with what they're driving from an accountancy perspective. So I think from a sponsorship perspective, this is the start of a journey. And I like to say that, collaboration isn't just about the now. It's about what's coming forward, what's down the line. Okay. I think someone's not on mute there. Okay, perfect. So I guess at the end of the day, it's a very big privilege for us. We are excited and thoroughly excited to be coming through and actually giving actual value. So we're not just here to say, we would like you to open up an account with us, bank with us. We're the best private bank out there, which we are, but I'm not going to toot our own horn. But we're actually going to bring one of our financial advisors with a gentleman by the name of Kwanele Mabaso. He literally will take you through your investments from a personalized perspective to a future-based perspective in that regard. And a lot of people don't understand that everything is inclusive when it comes to Investec. We literally don't hide the T's and C's. Everything is in one fee within our framework. But I think from our side, thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of this workshop. Thank you for giving us the time to actually speak to you today, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the workshops as we go along through them over the coming weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tino. I think you also touched on what we were talking about, collaboration. I think we can never say this word enough to make sure that, it's just those areas that in order for you to also be impactful and to respond to the to the people's needs, you have to collaborate, because what could just be the corner. But as you collaborate with other organizations, you get to learn more about what are really your clients' needs, what are really the candidates' needs. As Mkhawa was also saying, that there's always a space for each and every organization to get involved, and you need not to just be circling ourselves, not in just this is the area which we do for our people, and that's where it ends. For us is to make sure that you get to be exposed to as much information which you can have, and the different value-adding services which you can have. So we're really truly grateful. Again, like I was saying, that's where the money comes from. So we're grateful for Investec, and we're grateful for you sponsoring us on this workshop. And we're looking forward to more collaborations and more sponsorship. And we're sure that as you continue to collaborate with us, we'll also bring some value to Investec the same way which will bring value to us. I like this. We are on time today. We are very much on time. I'm loving this. I love my speakers. Really, truly thankful to make sure that we always make sure that we don't overbore candidates, but then also they're chartered accountants, these candidates of ours. Time is money. So we're making sure that each and
You're on mute.
Am I still, have I been on mute since I got here? Okay, have I been on mute? Can you guys hear me? Please just give a thumbs up.
We heard you up until that time is money.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for the reference. Like I was saying that one of the part which I like about now is that we've been, so far we're on schedule. 7 o'clock, and actually we're supposed to take a break at around 5 past. So I think we saved some time somewhere along the line. So we're gonna take a 10 minutes break. After the 10 minutes break, Renan is gonna come through to talk about really that document A, which I'm sure you guys are itching for it. Document A, and it's just gonna also just set the scene as to what you can expect in the next couple of days in terms of the different tasks which is gonna be covered also on the different couple of days, and what you can, again, when you go back, to my universe, which I noted that the reason why you need to register is to make sure that you have access to all the material. So it's going to also talk about what we'll have packaged for you as you prepare for each and every of every task, that this is what is expected that you have already covered, so that when you come to the sessions, you're well prepared. So we'll see you back at 19:12, 10 minutes break. Thank you so much.